it was just about a month ago we got to see each other.
Yeah,
That was really cool.
that was so fun.
hmm It was you, me, Nikki, and Adam.
Mhm.
I don't remember the name of the restaurant we went to. Do you remember?
Um, we ate at Puttery.
Oh yes, Puttery. That's what it was. Yes. Yes, the restaurant slash mini putt place, indoor mini putt
Yeah.
place, which I've never seen before in my life.
No, I mean like I've seen like obviously mini golf places, but like for when on the few occasions that I've been to a mini golf place, I expect the food there to be kind of like, here's your shitty fries, take these and go. But the food there was really good.
It was really good. It was really, really good. And I knew it would be because Tyson recommended the place. And if
Oh,
you know,
well,
yeah,
true, yeah.
and if you know Tyson, who's like the restaurateur of the Twin Cities area, that's why anytime I'm like in the area, I'm like, Tyson, what's a good restaurant? He kicks something out I've never heard of. Go there and it's amazing. So yeah, that part I was still surprised because it wasn't just good. It was like really, really good.
Yeah. Like I would go there again just for the food, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like
Yeah.
it was really bomb food.
Yeah, it was. And I didn't even know it was mini putt, like the idiotic, like it's called puttery, but restaurants have weird names. I didn't know it was an indoor mini putt place till we stepped inside and went, oh, we can like golf after we eat. Okay.
Which was really fun.
Yeah. For as bad as three of us were at it. Yeah.
You know, I feel like if we were all really good at it, it wouldn't be as fun,
hmm
to be honest. Like me and Nikki spent a majority of half of it because we were all kind of shit at it, just kind of like we went around the walls being like, okay, what if the books are actually glued down? And we like made a game of like, what are we allowed to pick up? What can we get our grubby little hands on? Which I don't think they wanted us to do, but they were nailed down for a reason because they knew people like me and Nikki would come around being like, can we touch this?
Right. Yeah. Can we move this around? Can we do this? Yeah. I kind of feel like our whole group just sort of like went ADHD and autistic on that whole building
Yup.
and just had fun with it. And that was great.
The X-Men fans,
Yeah,
ADHD and autistic.
no, never, never. Yeah,
Shocking.
speaking of which, I think this is really interesting. I always get a kick out of it because like I think Jamie, my wife, before she learned your name, like just referred to you as my autistic nightcrawler. Um,
Yep.
and so sort of like that being the case, do you feel like in any way, shape, or form like your autism like contributed to like X-Men love or enjoying the X-Men fandom or anything in that regard?
I mean, like, I think definitely just because when I get into something, I feel like flavor of autism is like I like something that I will gravitate towards it if there is a lot of lore that I can really hook my teeth into. And X-Men, I feel like, is just primed for that. Like, yes, there are lore in kind of all comics, but I feel like that of the X-Men is just so relatable, not just for myself, but for the people that I grew up with, for marginalized communities, that I was able to dig into it so much more. And there was a constant drip feed for me that I think it really, there was a constant spark because if there's something where there isn't that constant lore, I will drift away from it rather quickly. Like something will be more near to my heart if there is more and more lore to it. If there is consistent things that I can dig into and unearth. But if there isn't, then I'm kind of like, this is fine. I might enjoy it. I might be able to appreciate that like this is objectively a good piece of media. But if I can't consistently find new things to uncover about it, I'm not going to care as much.
It's that need to rabbit hole, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I was trying to word vomit out, but I was like, I can't word. But yes, I can rabbit hole so much more with X-Men than I can with so many other comic series, I feel like.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah,
think it's that combination of fantasy working so well with real life events in a soap operian way that I feel like so many other comics have tried to marry, but have not done so successfully in the way that X-Men has. They don't have that secret sauce.
right. Yes. That's the best way to put it. It's the triad, it's the thruple. I kind of feel of like political science, Shakespeare, and soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
Like all rolled into one. And somehow it just like as a recipe, it's like the perfect amount of quantities that just like get the whole machine to run. And I also find it like fascinating and maddening at the same time, just like you were saying, because I love to same as you love to rabbit hole, love the lore, love to dig into the lore. But X-Men lore is like so deep and so layered that that means there's constantly new stuff that, even if it's stuff that happened in the 70s, you're like, oh, I didn't even know that storyline happened. But on the other side, it kind of frustrates me because I'm a bit of a completist. And I
Ah,
realize
gotcha.
I will never, ever, ever know everything because once I get to a point, like I'm gonna hit critical mass and start forgetting stuff, that I learned years earlier. So it's like this constant ball of rabbit holing.
For me, almost that's kind of like a blessing because I do have a little bit of memory issues. Um, so for me, sometimes that's frustrating, but in a good way, in a positive silver lining, it's kind of like a new gift that I forgot, but now it's like it's all brand new again, which I'm kind of discovering personally with rereading the Krakoa era. It's like, I forgot about that.
hmm
Yay, a new present for me.
Yeah, and it gets better the older you get. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
older you get, it gets better because now I'm in my 40s and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that storyline I read in the 90s. And then I go back and read it again and I'm like, oh my God, I read this when I was 16 and I am now viewing it with completely different eyes, than I did as a teenager. And also I forgot half the stuff even happened in this book. I just kind of remembered the main plot points and that was it.
oh yeah, and like since your life experiences change, you're able to relate to different characters and you're able to see things from a different view. Like there are parts of the comics that I was able to not really understand as a child because I'm like, well, why would that character react that way? That now as an adult, I'm like, oh, okay, no, that was completely reasonable.
Right.
Whereas a kid, I'm like, well, why would you do that?
hmm
That's dumb. And now as an adult, it's like, oh, well, of course they did that. Like,
Right. Yeah. And I guess I don't know. It was childish. I felt that way as a kid. I sort of felt like I don't get it, Logan. Why are you so hung up on Jean? I mean, I get it. She's gorgeous. I get it. She's a redhead. I get it. But girls drool, man. Like, move on. You
girls are
know?
stinky.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Like there aren't like Rogue standing right there or Psylocke is standing right there. And then you get older and like I think the first time that like I fell in love with someone and got my heart broken, then you're like, oh, I get it. I like that makes a little bit more sense now. I get it. Okay. I feel you, Logan. I feel you, you know.
yeah. And like going through a breakup, it's like, okay, well, you don't have to live in the same like building as the person and they're dating someone else. Like, oh God, that's gotta suck. Ugh.
Yeah, that's why he got on his motorcycle and left all the time.
Like, yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Understandable reaction. Jeez.
And I kind of felt like Scott was being douchey, because he'd be like, "Oh, Logan's off on his own again." Yeah, because he just walked into the kitchen to get a cup of coffee, and you guys were making out on the counter. So yeah, he kind of got a little bothered and got in his Harley and got the hell out of town. You
Yeah,
know what
like
I mean? That's perfectly reasonable, right?
I'd have a little bit of a crash out too. Like
Yeah.
reasonable.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think I kind of keep debating whether, because right now would be like the perfect time to like ve venture into the whole like poly triad thing they had going on in Krakoa. But we got into
Hmm.
that in the first podcast, and one of the reels from that like ended up like getting a ton of attention. I don't want to be a, a one trick pony all over again. But I will say hats off to Hickman for fixing the problem.
Oh my God, Hickman, my beloved.
Hmm.
Also, I have something a little bit embarrassing to
Oh,
share about the last podcast. So, as you know, my beloved girlfriend, uh I I told her well, I told her that, we were doing the podcast, and she was like, "Oh, that's great." And she was super excited. And her mom also follows me on Instagram, and she's super supportive. We love her. We love Kathy. She's great. She doesn't always know like all the cosplays, but she's like, love it. Don't know what's going on, but love it. And she texts me after the podcast goes up, and she's like, just listen to it. This was awesome. Like, you have such a voice for this. I'm so proud of you. And I was just like, oh my God, I love this. Like, thank you, Kathy. And after my girlfriend comes home from work, I was like, babe, look at this text from your mom. This is so sweet. Like, this makes me so happy. And then she shares with me, she's like, oh yeah, that podcast? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, the one where you guys were talking about fucking Mr. Sinister? That's the one that my mom listened to and said was really good.
oh no.
Anyway, thank you, Kathy, for being
Oh
the biggest
God.
trooper and not judging us.
Right? Oh my God.
Kathy can come to Krakoa.
Yeah, she's welcome.
Mutant or not, Kathy is allowed on Krakoa.
She is 100% on the in club. Yeah, she just passed the ultimate test of support and devotion.
See, after that, I kind of hid in the blankets on the couch for a little bit. I was like, oh gosh.
I I can't even begin to tell you. Like I've been through that. And because like my, being the type of person who came from a very country bumpkin high school, we had tractor day every year. And
What
it,
does that
it, it
mean?
so basically it was a farm, it was a farm town. It was like the town had a population, I don't know, of like maybe less than 2,000. And so the majority of the kids there were farmers, and so every year, which was the Monday right after prom, any of the kids who were farm kids drove their tractors into school, like rather than their cars, and it was like a big deal. Like this
Oh,
wasn't
that's
like,
kind of
yeah,
cute.
yeah, it wasn't a joke. Like these kids were so proud; they would spend like the week before washing and waxing their huge tractors to like drive them in.
I
But a
can't
lot of
imagine that's an easy process.
no, it is not. But in any event, it's sort of like, so social media wise, I have a lot of friends who are like from that area, and I'm not throwing shade at them at all, but they do kind of tend to like look at cosplay stuff a little bit like, what are you doing over there, buddy? What's you just you're a 40-year-old man dressing up like superheroes on the weekend, like um And then, yeah, same thing with family, like a fairly liberal Catholic family, but still every once in a while I do these podcasts and I get on, and I'm at the time I'm doing the podcast, I'm not thinking about the audience. I'm not thinking about who's going to listen to it. I'm just thinking about the conversation that I'm having. And then it gets released, and then somebody's like, yeah, so I listened to your latest episode. It was interesting. I'm like, oh shit. I don't even remember
Like
what I
Minnesota
said.
interesting or
Passive aggressive interesting.
yep.
Like that's I can't say anything nice, so I'm just gonna say interesting. Like So,
Yeah.
Kathy, you're amazing, and I don't even know you, and I love you. And yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes when we, neurospices get the rabbit hole going on, and it's just you never know where the train's gonna go.
She's a gem. We love her.
So we know that in this episode we can't talk about fucking Mr. Sinister. Like that's off the table. We've covered
Damn
that.
it.
We can switch to another character for sure. But we've already done Nathaniel Essex.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel I don't know whether to like laugh or be embarrassed on your behalf. But
It can be both. Two things can be true at once.
that's true. If you're listening to this one, Kathy, blame me. I'm a horrible influence. I am, the devil whispers in my ears and causes me to do things. And Kissy, quite frankly, should never talk to me again. Because
She's known me for like 10 years. She knows that this is also partially my fault.
oh,
It's
okay. I was just willing to fall on the sword for you.
no, it's
So-
fine. I can't get away with shit on this one. It's fine.
All
You don't have to do that for me.
yeah. I'm just trying to be a friend, you know what I
It's all
mean?
good. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't I gotta be honest with you, I don't know where to go from here. I just like I'm gonna be laughing about this probably for a solid week now every time I
That's
think about it. So,
that's all good. That's all good. Well, speaking of Krakoa then, I think I told you that I did just tell you that I'm rereading all of the Krakoa era because there are parts of it that I missed the first time. And I just finished reading the X of Swords event. It's way shorter than I remember it being. It's
mhm.
like 10 issues.
Yeah, it's not that long.
I remember it being a way bigger deal.
Hmm. Well, when it comes to comics, I sort of feel that way because if they're coming out one issue at a time, as you're waiting for the new issues to come out, next part of the story, that can cover a month and a half to 2 months. And so
Yeah,
it feels like this, like it eats up a chunk of a year. And then when you see it compiled into trade paperback, you're like, oh, that's it.
yeah.
That's kind of bizarre. But yeah, did you like that crossover?
I liked it. I thought the tone was a bit odd in some places. I liked it's complicated because it's like I liked the event as a whole. I thought it was fun. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna say her name right, but Opal. In my head, it's Satraline. I don't
Hmm.
think that's how you say her name, but Emma Frost from the Moon. Um, uh, Fae lady. I feel like she set the tone for the tournament in a way that I thought like the first time I read it, I thought they were all gonna be like fighting one on one to the death, fighting with swords. And that's not what happened, which I thought was kind of neat. But then they were doing all of these very strange tasks, which I thought was cool, but I feel like they did not establish the tone for that at all. So it's like, oh, they're doing a catwalk now. And I'm like, okay, that's very funny, but like, how are people going to end up dying? Because Apocalypse was talking about if people have not read this event, spoiler warning, but it's basically said like, okay, 10 mutants from Krakoa have to come and 10 mutants from Morocco have to come and duke it out with swords, and the winner gets to have Krakoa because bitch from the moon said fairy rules. Comics, yay!
Yes.
Um, and the way it's established in the beginning and the way Apocalypse is talking about it makes it seem like this is a life or death stakes in the tournament. And it makes it seem, especially from the first fight, that every single battle is going to be one of you will die. But then in every single one of the fights, only about half of them are life or death fights. Like some of them, it's a drinking contest. As I said before, one of them is like a runway walk thing, and one of them's just a maze. And so it was like, I feel like, yes, she's a fae type of being and therefore trickery, but I feel like the tone was not. I wish it was established that way, that there was going to be not specifically like some will be life or death and some won't, or like have a character say like I thought this was life or death, what the fuck is this, like have someone protest to it, because a lot of them just kind of went along with it, and I feel like they didn't. Like the first, I think, non-lethal test was Cypher ends up getting married to a lady whose name escapes me, big buff woman. Love that for them. But they end up getting married, and that was the duel of he could reject her or not. And they end up getting married, which made it a tie because reasons. And I feel like they just kind of went along with it. The only really kind of objection to it was Magic going, I don't really know what's going on here, man. You just got to go with it. And I feel like there should have been a stronger objection to it. Like, even Wolverine doesn't say anything. And I feel like Logan would have been like, hey, we married off kids now?
Right.
What the fuck? Like, do we know how old she is? Because
Hmm.
I don't recall Cypher's age. I guess he's a legal adult.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I thought until that point Cypher was like 17 or something. But like I guess he's a legal adult.
Hmm.
But even if he is like a legal adult, I just feel like from the way that we know Logan, he would still be like, isn't he a little young for
Right.
this? Because
Yeah.
even though Jubilee is a legal adult, I remember like when she had her baby, he was like, I'm weirded out by this. I don't like that you have a baby. This is weird to me. Even though it's like she was a perfectly like reasonable age to have a kid.
Hmm.
He was still like, don't like it.
Yeah.
So having us, even him just say nothing felt odd. And having Storm say nothing felt odd. So I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just me. Maybe I'm too picky and need to shut
No,
up, but
no. It kind of highlights something that I come across. It's always interesting in any ensemble book or any team book. Um, like X-Men, especially when individual characters have solo books.
Mhm.
Because you read the solo books and stuff, or even major storylines within the team book, and you get to know that character really, really well. And yet then you come into situations like that where there's like a group setting, and like in order for the story to move, like this character, whether it's Storm or Logan, need to keep their mouth shut, which completely goes against everything you know about that character. Like, how would they not like
Exactly.
stand up and be like, wait, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
Right?
yeah, you think like they'd be the exact person to stand up and throw a fit, but you know, I guess if
Especially
they
since, oh, sorry, continue.
no, no, you're fine. But especially if they stand up and throw a fit, that kind of like, well, then the story doesn't work. Right? So,
Right?
yeah, their personality just ends up like a casualty to the script, I guess.
Yeah. Especially because, like, earlier in the story, they did kind of throw a fit. So it's like, so we have established that Logan will throw a fit. And during this, he chooses not to, which I get why he's not, because like he realizes, okay, we have to go through with the tournament, but I feel like he'd at least question or at least make an offhand comment to someone next to him like this feels oogie, like this feels weird,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I can see that. And I don't know, there's part of me that wonders a little bit. Like if you're sitting there and like let's say you're brainstorming, like let's say you're the one writing the book and you're sort of like brainstorming it out and you're sort of like, okay, I have like 4 pages
Mhm.
to finish this story. Like right here would be like, as I'm writing it, it's now occurring to me, this is the exact moment where Logan or Ro would stand up and be like, y'all motherfuckers crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Problem is, those 4 pages, I don't have room on the panel for that, you
Yeah.
know? So I sort of feel like that's like one of those things that's really more of like, maybe should have been planned out a little bit more further in advance.
Yeah.
Um, because yeah, I've come across that book, even like books that I've read that were like Avengers, when like there were, periods of time where like Wolverine was on the Avengers, and they would just kind of be going, doing something, and I'm like, how is Logan not raising his pudgy arms and being like, wait, what are we doing? Like, he's not exactly like a silent, shy type. I sort of feel like that's the opportunity for him to be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
It's always odd, like deviating a little bit, but it's always odd for me to see like I see specifically Captain America brought up a lot. Captain America in X-Men books or Wolverine in Avengers books, because I feel like those two specifically, their personalities when they are brought into those pieces of media are completely different than when they are in their own media. Like I like Steve Rogers when he is in his own space. But when Steve Rogers is in an X-Men book, generally speaking, I do not like that man because I feel like he just becomes a cop. And I feel like the Steve Rogers that is the kid that grew up marginalized in Brooklyn with a single mom would not behave in the way that he is so frequently written towards the X-Men. I feel like he would have more patience and more understanding of their general plight. And then conversely, the Wolverine that is written with the Avengers a lot of the times feels like, for lack of a better term, neutered. Like, when dogs get more chill after they've been neutered? Like he's been tranked low key. And that's not Wolverine.
Mhm.
Like I feel like there are certain mutants that work well on the Avengers, like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. They are mutants. That can be dragged out of my cold dead hands. And they work well on the Avengers.
Mhm.
Logan, not so much. I don't like seeing him there. That's the wrong house.
Yeah,
Go home.
and that's I think the problem with just like you said with Captain America is that I feel like anytime he pops up in an X book, it's more of a plot device to ex facto represent the government or institutionalized, like he's there representing the government or Shield or the UN, as though this is how the world outside of mutantdom feels about you and what you should be doing. Which anybody who knows Steve Rogers, knows Captain America through the books, movies, whatever, knows that like a great many times throughout his life, he's specifically fought against those institutions because they were
Yeah.
doing things that were, immoral. And I sort of, and I agree at 100% with what you're saying about Logan. Like they need to like put Logan in the Avengers, but he needs to act more capish, more
Yeah.
like old veteran, inspirational, let's go fight rather than just like his berserker, borderline psychotic, gruff self that we know and love so well from the X
Grr.
books. Yeah. That was always an interesting relationship, though, because they were, in a lot of ways, Cap and Wolverine were such opposites, but there's such like a long line of respect there. Like Steve was probably one of the few people who could tell Logan to do, and Logan would do it without grumbling about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because Cap asked him to do it, so he's gonna do it. You know what I mean? I rem
exactly.
I remember, I don't know if you were reading comics back then. What was it like when Captain America died? That was post Civil War. Oh my God. Holy shit, I'm old. That was like early 2000s. It's now occurring to me. I feel like it wasn't that long ago. I realized like no, it was like 20 years ago. But yeah, Captain America died. Of course, he came back because they always come back. But at the point he died, and I remember there was a cool issue of Wolverine that came out where Wolverine is literally just like I think like sitting next to a statue of Captain America the entire issue, just like drinking a bottle of whiskey and like reminiscing about all of the times that him and Cap worked together, going all the way back to World War II. And even a few times they did not get along. But we're kind of one of those, yeah, it sucks. I respect the shit out of you, but we got to throw hands right now. And that was a really neat issue. I don't know what my point was to that, but yeah.
They're buddies.
Yeah. They're old bros. That would be a fun team up. Um
I'd like to see that again.
Yeah, but I would just like you were because you remember that episode of X-Men '97. I think it was the Bright Eyes was the episode, which was right after Gambit died, and
Yeah,
Rogue is just like on the warpath, and yeah, she like bumps into Captain America, way up in the snowy cabin. And that's
yeah,
exactly the dynamic that we're talking about. Well, you can't do it this, and the optics look like, and we're trying to do this the right way, and Rogue's like, I'm just here to break some skulls, man. I'm not even like interested in your politics or outside views or any of that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was cool to see Captain America and X-Men '97, but he was represented exactly the way that like you and I are talking about it.
yeah. I feel like it was like slightly more toned down than they do it in the comics, which I appreciated. Like, I feel like he understood her a little bit more and was like, bestie,
Mhm.
chill. But like, I kind of understand why they use Cap because like he's such a symbol and they use him in the way that the US government wants to use him, but that's not how Steve wants to use himself. Does
Mhm.
that make sense?
Yes.
But if people want to use an actual like character for that that's on the Avengers, Tony is right there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Movie Tony, love him. Love him. Comic book Tony, hands. Do not like that man. I don't like that man. And
Right.
he would work for that.
Hmm.
He's a sellout.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Like, just use Iron Man. It's not like he's an unrecognizable IP.
Yeah, and that would work extremely well too. Like, um,
And he doesn't
especially
really give a fuck about mutants.
right, yeah, yeah. No. Yeah, they don't buy Stark products. They've got all that Shiera stuff, so they're not even, customers or shareholders.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God, what was the storyline? When the Phoenix was coming back to Earth and it like, oh, it was Avengers versus X-Men, the original one. I don't know if you ever read that one. But it's kind of like the perfect representation of what we're talking about because the X-Men were on an island like way off the coast of like San Francisco was their home at the time. And
The
Hope,
X-Men were on an island and
yeah,
everything always goes
yeah,
well.
right. When they're on an island, that always ends well. And they had this situation where Hope was there and they had kind of like gotten, the Phoenix Force was coming
Yes.
and they
I
just kind of
remember this.
like, the whole thing starts where they like look out the window and like standing on the beach is Captain America all by himself. And Cyclops
I
is like,
get,
well,
and then that's when Scott like is like, I gotta go talk to this man.
yeah, he's like, I gotta go talk to him. And I forget who it says, like, be careful, we don't want to escalate things. And Scott was like, if Captain America's here, it's already escalated. Like,
Like we're kind of fucked, you guys.
right. This shit's about to get real. And
And I
Steve,
believe Captain America says something similar to him, and Scott's like, "Bestie,
yeah.
you're you're talking to me right now."
Right. That would be a fun team up too.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably pretty boring in their personal lives as a team up.
I feel like it depends on where Scott is. in his life. Like, is he domesticate Scott, or is he Scott where he's like, you know what's good? Terrorism.
Right.
Because I love that flavor of Scott
Right.
personally. Because that Crash Out Scott,
And
love that.
and
Good
I
for you. He's earned it.
right. And I want a bar scene with Scott and Steve where they're talking about past like romantic experiences. And all of a sudden Steve is like, wait, Logan? Scott's like, oh yeah, hit that. What?
Steve just has a flashback to like
Yeah.
Logan in the trenches with like trench foot, and Steve's like,
Yeah. I'm coming only up for warmth. I swear it's not weird.
I've seen that man's trench foot. I don't
Right.
know.
Is that a euphemism? I don't know. Yeah, I would kill for that. I'm sorry, Kathy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that would be oh God. Oh God, and I had a whole point to like where to go after that, and then you said trench foot, and that like closed all the tabs in my brain like instantly. Like
Oh God.
system crashed for an update.
The two cursed words in this podcast, Mr. Sinister, trench foot.
Yes, that's as a matter of fact, that's what we're gonna title this episode is
Trench
just
foot?
trench foot. Yeah, why not? I love it. I'm on
Oh
board for it.
God.
We're where are you? Are you reading where are you at on the current books? Are
Where am
you
I at? Let me pull up my again, I am so neurotypical. I have a Google Doc with like a checklist.
that is autistic AF. I love it.
Shut. Shut.
Not a criticism.
Yup. I am on part four, Reign of X right now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm currently reading through the Cable part of that. So it's Cable when he's like done with the X of Swords event and he's like, oh yeah, shit, all of those mutant babies are getting kidnapped. So like back on Krakoa, they're dealing with the like plant zombie things, and Namor is like, please get out of my house.
hmm
And then Cable and Rachel are like, the X cult is doing cult things with babies. So that's
I
where I'm at right now.
I'm on a loss because I actually haven't read that one.
The babies or
No,
the plants?
both.
Oh, it's weird. I really like the plants is I'm on the plants because that it's X-Force. So that run of X-Force, I like parts of it and then parts of it I don't like. I think the art is very fun. Oh, who was the artist for that? Let me look it up really quick because I whoever they got on the art for this run of X-Force, the way that they draw lends so well to they have so many issues where they've got weird plant horror and when they're under the ocean just drawing these like Clive Barkerian like deep sea fish.
Hmm.
Joshua Cassara is the main artist, and his art, it's so perfect for it. It's so gross, and it looks like a bunch of like old Slipknot album covers. It's great. But unfortunately, my number one op is in a lot of these comics. So I have to deal with that. Um, and that is unfortunately I don't really care for Kid Omega. Yeah.
Yeah. Never been a fan of that.
No, but he is in X-Force and so I'm like this is great. This is great. Quentin's talking. Ugh.
I,
Shut up.
I never, yeah, I was never a fan of that character. He was a product of the like the new X-Men run, the Grant Morrison, one of
Yeah,
his like god awful creations that is now like an STD we can't get rid of. No matter
yeah,
how hard we try,
he's.
he somehow keeps popping up somewhere.
But we have the cuckoos,
We do, and that always
and
has
I
me
love them.
excited.
I love
Yes.
them.
Yes. I have to talk to you about cuckoos off air. I got something interesting to add to that, but
It's our
it's a
secret project.
yes, it's something I can't reveal to the public just yet, or else I will
Good,
be
good.
lynched by others. Yeah, what about the current books? Are you like the weekly stuff that comes out? I'm not caught up, so it's not like I'm going to be
I'm
like,
not caught up
oh,
either, but I'm currently really excited. I'm loving Exceptional X-Men for the current stuff.
mhm.
Um, Mostly because I'm gonna bring up our favorite boy. Uh, there is a character in it that is a going to be helping one of the younglings that Kitty and Emma have taken under their wing. And this person, this mysterious person, is running a company that can help mutants with their problems. You just have to send him some of your DNA.
Yeah, hey, yeah, it never occurred to me till just now that are you implying that there's an Essex connection here? Is there fuckboy behind things?
There's a special boy, especially because they've released the cover of the next coming issue, and it's the guy who is he's just a tiefling. He looks like a tiefling.
Yeah.
And it's his name is Zen, like not Zenos, that's that other guy, something along those lines. And that he's like got his hands creepily on the shoulder of the kiddo, and then his shadow is on the wall, and it's Essex's fuck ass cape. And
That
I'm like,
guy.
ah, oh, he's back. That
That-
slimy mother. Yeah, the moment they're like, oh yeah, we can solve your problems. Just send us a vial of your fucking blood. I'm like, I
Yes.
was wondering where you slithered off to, you crusty fuck.
We knew he was out there somewhere.
There's
Um,
bestie.
yeah, and they didn't take long to bring him back
No,
into the fray either.
I think they knew like how popular he got
Hmm.
with Hickman's special sauce.
Yeah, well, it's because he went from like cardboard two-dimensional character villain to like cunty fuckboy.
Well, I mean,
It's
like
like,
the dude was literally just named like Dr. Evil Man.
yeah.
And that was his role, was just, hi, I show up sometimes and I'm a bitch.
Right.
I'm going to laugh maniacally, curse you meddling kids, and your
Grrr.
dog Logan. And
Yeah.
that was his job. And,
Right.
and he was boring as shit. And
Uh
then Hickman was like, what if I made him a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, but goth?
Yeah, he went from being the we need a mutant mad scientist to let's inject like 5,000 cc's of vampire Lestat into this man.
Oh my God.
And just, make him like weirdly twisted, evil, seductive kind of. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's what they did. And guess what? His popularity went through the roof. They made him like, oh God, he got a good injection of metrosexual into him.
Oh,
Um,
100%.
yeah, among other things.
I
But
have no
yeah,
doubt one of his disguises in the early 2000s incorporated a man bun and some skinny jeans.
yes, yes, he was one of the first to have an iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably a Prius. Do you think he'd? Okay,
Stop! I am Prius!
okay.
Don't hate on
Then
the
that,
Prius!
I'm not hating on the Prius. They're very fuel efficient.
My sinister mobile.
I was gonna say. So okay, then that's the question. Then is that what kind of car do you think? Mr. Sinister would drive. If he was just like a regular Joe, had a job at a 9 to 5 and had to keep all of his maniacal plans to the weekends when his wife isn't taking him antiquing, what kind of car do you think he would drive?
I think it's very cute that you think he has a wife.
Okay, his partner,
He's in a very healthy lavender marriage.
his they them photographer partner.
There we go. There we go. That's more accurate. I'm
All
like,
right.
what?
It's a
A
white.
cisgender woman?
No, he helped her transition.
There we
Yeah.
go. That would be,
Right.
there we go. Like cisgender anything? No, not. I think not. Um, yeah. See, part of me was like a Tesla because he's a fuckboy, but I'm like, I genuinely don't think he would like Elon Musk because he would see the videos of him being cringe and just be like,
Ugh.
what the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
Yeah. Weirdo.
I cannot be caught dead in one of those.
I'm not driving one of Hairplug's cars. Absolutely not.
I'm better than
Yeah,
that.
right.
Remember, he said something along the lines in Krakoa of like, trends are fleeting, style is timeless. Like, so it's got to be something classy,
That is a
but fuel efficient.
that is a drag queen line. Like I can picture about any drag queen I've ever met saying that exact line.
Exactly.
You know.
Again, love him. It's got, I don't
Yes.
know enough about cars. Let me, hold on. I'm gonna,
Look up just Google search Conti cars and see what comes up.
hey Siri, cunty cars. Let's see
Gonna
if
say,
Siri knows what cunty cars.
did it come up as country cars?
Cunty cars. It's a 20 cars. Fuel efficient, sexy car.
I don't think that's an oxymoron.
The first thing that comes up is a mini hardtop 4-door. Okay, this is kind of funny. I don't know what the hell this is, but what do, oh
Is
God,
it like a
no.
RAV4 or something?
I, okay, I kind of want to see him drive this. What do we think about this?
What is that? Is that like a Cooper?
I do not know, my friend.
Yeah, it
What do
looks
we,
like yeah, it looks like a next gen like Cooper Mini kind of convertible thing.
it is a convertible. It is a, oh, the interior is cloth, though. I feel like he'd be a leather guy.
Oh, yeah. Leather's really hard to clean stains out of, so maybe he's more of a synthetic leather guy. That was your facial expression, not mine. I'm just saying, you spill your ketchup sometimes.
Yeah,
Also, not a euphemism, literally a McDonald's joke.
yeah, okay. Oh, let's go. Men's Magazine, 7 sexy, sporty hybrid cars.
Oh, I want to
Let's
see this. I want
go.
to see what men think are sexy cars.
Oh God. This is absolutely terrible UI. Oh God. Oh yeah. The sexiest car known to man. The Honda CRV. Would you bang Mr. Sinister in the Honda CRV? Oh, there's a lot of words here that I don't understand.
You can
Oh, Ford wowed the crowd at the Detroit Auto Show with the 2013 Fusion.
Ford Fusion. That's a
Mm,
hybrid, isn't it?
yes. I definitely know. I said, like a liar.
I just think of that meme, the meme of like slapping the roof of the car and it's sinister and it's a Honda CR-V and he's like, you can fit 157 vials of blood in the back of this thing. you know?
This car looks fancy. The Acura NSX.
Okay.
That's
Oh, and
a
it,
fancy
yeah.
looking
And
car.
it's even got X in the title. Yeah.
That's it. This is the
Yes.
Sinister Mobile,
We
the
nailed it.
Acura NSX.
Probably got like red like ground effects on it and
Probably.
rims, big red diamond painted on the hood.
Oh, it's gotta.
Yeah, the song from Kill Bill plays every time he pulls up, do 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 do, dun dun
Or is that
dun.
the horn? You know, like how you can get horns that
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. That'd
See,
be
now I need to make a really shitty drawing of Mr. Sinister slapping the
do it, do it, do it.
writing it down in my planner. Oh my
You
God.
fit 157 vials of blood in the back of this thing and 32 jars of your own urine. Um,
I went to art school for this
Yes,
specific
every decision you've
reason.
made in life has led to this moment right here, right now.
Oh my God. I'm just adding Mr. Sinister vials of blood.
Are. I'm not gonna stop giving Jamie crap because she drives a Honda CRV. And like as soon as she gets home, be like, "Oh, babe, you're driving like the sexiest male car in the world." That's like,
Give no explanation.
yes, that I'd be like that.
None.
That is like really interesting for a bi girl like yourself to be driving around in a sexy man car like that. Like, oh God, I don't know how you make it down the street with all the underwear thrown at the windshield. It's just impossible.
The wipers going
Yes, yes,
constantly,
yes.
or else it's a hazard.
Keep the sunroof closed. Otherwise, they're just gonna rain in like like it's Black Friday, Victoria's Secret or something.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. See, now though, I do, because the Prius comment, I do want to get like, because I have stickers on my car, because it's a 2008 Prius that is broken in some places. Like, I'm not going to get resale value on that thing, so I put stickers on it. I want to get like a diamond sticker and put it on the front of it. Like, fuck
Yes.
it. The
Do it.
Sinister car.
Do it.
There's got to be
Yes.
a decal like that somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sure you
It's
can find
probably
one.
not meant with that purpose.
Right. Yes. A sinister sticker or like right at the top middle of the windshield. That would be really cool. What's the trunk space on those things? Like, is Sinister going to be satisfied
It's
with?
not, it's actually not bad. It's
Uh-huh.
not bad at all. Like,
What
you
do you?
could fit a body and a half in there.
What about kids? Like, how many kids do you think you could
Like how
kidnap in
many
the back of that?
kids?
Yeah, how many you
How
can
many?
kidnap in the back of that thing? Two or three? If we're
Probably
talking
three. Like,
probably
how
like
old?
K through four.
Okay, through four. You could probably fit three if they're seat belted. If they're not seat belted, you could probably like do four, five if you like lay one across their laps.
10 if they're sedated and you don't like them that much.
Yeah, if they're
You,
sedated.
you just pile them up.
Oh yeah, if they're like if we're start dating the kids, oh, you could fit like eight in there.
Yeah.
Easy.
You can fit so many kidnap test subjects in the back of this thing.
God, Nanny is gonna come busting through my window.
Kathy, I'm sorry. I want to find a way someday in the future to meet her just so I can like get on both knees and be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like,
Hi, I'm one of Kissy's weird friends.
yeah, I'm the one. I'm sorry, I'm a product of my upbringing and pop culture's warped my brain to this point.
Our
I
brains
can't
are completely melted. They're Swiss
yes.
cheese.
Right. Yeah, stuff oozes out and it can't be helped. It's a condition, honestly. Um well, we are there, man. We this always happens. Like this is the second time we've done a podcast and it just like an hour shoots through like 10 minutes. Like before I know it, I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my God, is that really what time it is already? But yeah, we shot through this thing. Kizzy, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for
on the
having
pod.
me.
It is always a blast. I'm sure we will do this plenty in the future. So if you guys don't no Kissy. If you don't follow her on social media, go do it right now. Because I feel like you're going to get used to her face on my podcast a lot. So you might as well just, and even
I'm
if you're
like a
not,
mold.
yes, exactly. So yeah, but we're going to get out of here, folks. Thank you so much for watching it. We'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.